Morning. It is Tuesday, November 19th, 2019, and you're watching the Daily Mix TV. Hi, my name is Sean Patrick Hillman. Very busy news day in marketing, business, and pop culture, so let's get right into it. T-Mobile's Chief Operating Officer Mike Sievert is set to replace CEO John Legere as Chief Executive in May. That's according to the third largest U.S. wireless carrier. Legere had been previously expected to stay on until the company's merger deal with Sprint closed, as it faces a legal challenge that is set to go to trial next month. Remember, they've got multi-state lawsuits. Even though the FCC did approve the merger between T-Mobile and Sprint, there are multiple states that are suing T-Mobile to stop this merger because they feel that it becomes a monopoly. Now, Legere's next move really isn't known. It was speculated that he was going to become CEO of WeWork, because SoftBank has investment in both T-Mobile and WeWork. According to CNBC, they have anonymous sources that have stated there's no way he's going to become CEO of WeWork. He doesn't want to do it. So for T-Mo Sprint, this is very interesting timing. John Legere is one of those larger-than-life CEO characters. Brilliant man, but has that persona as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with T-Mobile and Sprint in this merger. But WeWork, don't even get me started. They started laying off 4,000 people yesterday. So it's a scary time in business, to say the least. Now, after much speculation, Coty and Kylie Jenner have come to an agreement. The beauty company announced that it has entered into a long-term strategic partnership with Jenner in order to expand her Kylie Cosmetics and Kylie Skin businesses. Quote, "We are pleased to welcome Kylie into our organization and family. Combining Kylie's creative vision and unparalleled consumer interest with Coty's expertise and leadership in prestige beauty is an exciting next step in our transformation and will leverage our core strengths around fragrances, cosmetics, and skincare, allowing Kylie's brands to reach their full potential." And that's Pierre Laubes, who's Coty's chief executive officer. Now, under the terms of the agreement, Coty acquired a 51% ownership in the partnership for about $600 million. That puts the valuation at about $1.2 billion. Now, in addition, the beauty company will have overall responsibility for development in the portfolio and act as a licensee for skincare, fragrance, and nail products. Now, the acquisition is expected to close in the third quarter of next year, and all beauty categories within the new partnership will be sold through leading luxury retailers, because they're already doing that, so they're continuing that path. But they're also going to add their own digital-owned channels. So for Coty, who's been in the celebrity beauty game for a while, this makes all the sense in the world. For Jenner, now this is interesting. She is the youngest billionaire in the world. So $1.2 billion valuation. I mean, the woman is nonstop. It's actually incredible to watch. And I'm not a big fan of the Kardashian clan. But when you get into something like this, brilliant strategy, great move. Can't wait to see what Coty does with these products. Tom's of Maine is putting its recycling efforts front and center. The Colgate-Palmolive-owned brand unveiled its recyclable toothpaste tube, which has been recognized by the Association of Plastic Recyclers and is designed to be compatible with the number 2 HDPE plastic stream. So what's going on is Tom's of Maine has been a granola kind of brand for a long time. In the interest of full disclosure, my father helped to cement Tom's of Maine in terms of advertising. He created their campaigns. He created their radio campaigns, which won endless awards. So Tom's of Maine is a very interesting company. It was started by Tom and Kate Chappell in Maine, and they were acquired by Colgate-Palmolive some years ago. So for them, they've always been about natural ingredients and that kind of thing. With this recycling effort, it really does play into the DNA of the brand. So it's a smart move. Designed so the material can actually be reprocessed into new products and packaging. The number 2 plastic here is the same material that's used in most laundry detergent bottles. So you already have a proven methodology for recycling with respect to plastics. This is very interesting. Quote, "We're thrilled to offer a first-of-its-kind recyclable toothpaste tube that's been recognized by the Association of Plastic Recyclers, which sets the standard for North America. There is no oral care or personal care tube on the market with this APR recognition. We're already hard at work at engaging with the Recycling Partnership and their network to communicate with recycling centers and win their acceptance of our recyclable tube. We're proud to be blazing a trail for other toothpaste brands to follow." That's Isai Seng, who's the GM of Tom's of Maine. Now, first to debut in the recyclable tube is the brand's anti-plaque and whitening peppermint natural toothpaste. It's one of their best sellers. That's going to be hitting shelves in the coming weeks. Then you're going to see full availability in the new packaging by the end of next year. So for Tom's of Maine, again, plays up to their DNA, brilliant strategy. I just hope that they're smart enough to translate that into on-shelf promo and those kinds of things, because that's going to attract attention that they need, as well as, let's say, putting a little more investment into digital to hit a younger generation that's more concerned about the environment than, let's say, baby boomers who are more concerned about personal health. So it's an interesting balance you have to strike as a brand like Tom's of Maine. Cracker Barrel Old Country Store is celebrating 50 years, and they're doing it with a one-time event right in the heart of New York City. The retailer will open a postage stamp-sized Cracker Barrel store display as part of its debut in the 93rd annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It's a 270-square-foot tiny home away from home. Will make its way from Cracker Barrel's headquarters in Tennessee to New York City. Now, the store is going to be open to visitors before Thanksgiving. It's going to appear in the parade on a giant floating stage. Bear one thing in mind. This store is a display, so nothing is available for sale. The miniature store is designed to basically give you that same look and feel of visiting a real Cracker Barrel. And anybody who's been to one, it's sweet, it's cute, it's, classic Americana kind of thing. And then when you get into some of the retailer's signature store elements, like the iconic front porch that you're seeing, as well as they've got rocking chairs on it, and then there's a glowing fireplace inside. So it's very smart in how they've put this together. They even took reclaimed wood from the very first Cracker Barrel store, which opened in September of 1969 in Lebanon, Tennessee. So very smart way to integrate history and look at the DNA of the brand. To get a look at what shopping Cracker Barrel is really like, they're going to house a selection of gifts, nostalgic toys, music, and packaged foods. Again, this is not for sale, though. It's only display. The challenge I have with programming like this, if you can't turn that into immediate sales, there's a problem. Now, obviously, Cracker Barrel has something else in mind, given the amount of money they're spending on this, for one. But they are getting duality of purpose out of this promo. So you've got the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade exposure to millions upon millions of viewers on TV. It's aired on NBC every year. Then you've also got the impact of a physical experiential push in the city of New York. So there's duality there. My question is, are they going to do something else beyond this? Are they going to use it as a stepping stone? So are they going to actually use this experiential program to announce the launch of a new store, as an example, in New York City? Quote, "As we celebrate our golden anniversary, this is a big moment for Cracker Barrel, and we wanted to do something extra special to mark our first ever appearance in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade by creating a miniature Cracker Barrel experience that recalls the unique atmosphere of hospitality enjoyed by guests. With no location in New York City, we're unveiling our tiny home in Foley Square on November 27 and offering those in the area the opportunity to experience a taste of Cracker Barrel as we honor our 50-year legacy." And that's Jeff Seigel, who's the VP of Marketing at Cracker Barrel. Now, they've got 660 company-owned locations across 45 states. This is a brilliant brand. It has survived the test of time. They do take in a lot of unique and American-esque product from both a nostalgic standpoint as well as a modern standpoint. So it's, for Cracker Barrel to do this makes a lot of sense. I am hoping that they actually open a store in New York. It would be very cool to be able to go. All right, in what many are calling an obscene and poor use of state funds, the state of South Dakota unveiled a new advertising campaign to combat the use of methamphetamines. Now, in South Dakota, studies have shown that virtually double the amount of children aged 12 to 17 use meth versus the national statistics. The problem? This campaign is being cited by many as purely political, without any strategy to actually tackle the rampant use of meth. The state spent almost $500,000 for an ad agency to develop meth. We're on it. Now, obviously, this has a double entendre of sorts. The meaning behind the campaign is that the state's on the job, they're trying to help, they're tackling it. But many Twitter users are calling them out for it. They're citing the political nature of the campaign, as well as the foolish use of words in the copy, which suggests the state is promoting its use of meth. Now, either way, this campaign has disaster written all over it, and it gets the shaking my damn head of the week. Come on, folks. Surely with $500,000, we can do far better than this. I really want to know who was paid under the table to approve this nonsense. I mean, think about it. How do you have the gall to put up out-of-home billboards, a TV campaign, a print campaign, all around the notion of meth? We're on it. So it doesn't make any sense. And I understand the sentiment behind what the ad agency is trying to communicate. They did a poor job of communicating it. Just flat-out statistics. After nearly 3/4 of a century, Tupperware has finally entered retail for a moment. The iconic brand, known for its Tupperware party movement in the 50s to sell food preparation, storage, and serving products, opened a holiday pop-up in downtown Manhattan called Tup SoHo and opened through December. The space features a curated selection of signature Tupperware products in a modern minimalist setting, marked with bold shapes and colors. Tup SoHo showcases their wares through interesting interactive food and product demonstrations, highlighting their history and museum-honored classic product designs. Quote, "The opening of Tup SoHo marks a monumental point in our brand's long-standing history. We are giving access to our brand like never before. Tupperware has been an important part of how people interact with their kitchen and their food for decades. In fact, we are a cultural touchstone, and we're embracing that now by opening our doors for more people to experience the magic and depth of Tupperware." Now, that's Asha Gupta, who's the Chief Strategy and Marketing Officer for Tupperware brands. Now, the launch of Tup SoHo coincides with the unveiling of their new redesigned site, which makes it easier to shop for products, connect with local Tupperware representatives, those kinds of things. Remember, back in the 40s, basically from, I'd say, the 20s through the 60s, you had this movement of local representatives. So Avon Lady calling, Tupperware parties. It was a very different time in terms of how these kinds of companies launched. And when you look at the strategy today and you think about similar companies that have that kind of activation now, it doesn't work the same, but social has helped to push those companies up, and some of them are doing extremely well. When you look at an iconic brand like Tupperware or Avon, who used to do those kinds of parties, and I'm not sure if they still do or not, but when you look at those brands today, they're very different. And unfortunately, some of them are really not performing that well because they haven't evolved. So it's going to be interesting to see how this works out for Tupperware. I have a feeling they're going to have a really good and successful push on this, only because it is so interesting and the brand really is that iconic.
In 2014, Motley Crue announced their final tour, putting an end to almost 35 years on the road. To make it official, they signed an unprecedented contract.
You know I'm a dreamer.
In the years since, Motley Crue became more popular than ever and gained an entirely new legion of fans who, along with diehard crew heads, demanded the band tear up that stupid contract and come out of retirement. They knew that if they were ever to stand on stage together again, that contract would have to be destroyed. Well, destruction has never been an issue for Motley Crue.
That's right, the Crue is back. In true Motley Crue fashion, the band known for breaking all the rules announced that they are in fact touring next year with two other iconic and legendary bands, Def Leppard and Poison. Back in 2015, after nearly 35 years on the road, Motley Crue's members signed a contract stating they will not tour again. They walked away and hadn't really spoken to each other since. That is until they filmed The Dirt. And that's when all the shenanigans began again. And personally, I could not be more happy to see this announcement. Yes, I have no shame in admitting I actually love all three of these bands. You know, Motley Crue, for all of the shenanigans and everything that they pulled, folks, they've been on the road for 35 years until 2015. They're an incredibly successful band. They've got a catalog of music that people love. So it's interesting to see how things are going to work out with this tour. But if the online noise and the Twitter feedback and Instagram shots, if that's any indication, this tour is going to be sold out in milliseconds. All right, folks, I'm out of time. My name is Sean Patrick Hillman. I'm the editor-in-chief of the Daily Mix TV. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, comments, or story ideas, please email thedailymixtv@gmail.com. We'll catch you tomorrow on Hump Day.